This is me, Brian, and right now I'm in my English writers class. You know, there's really no problem with that except for I'm dyslexic. To start off, dyslexia is a disorder. It causes difficulty with reading or interpreting letters or symbols. In the United States, it is estimated that 1 in 10 people have dyslexia, equaling about 40 million people. This is a large number compared to the estimated 2 million people that know about their dyslexia. But if you are one of the 9 others that doesn't have dyslexia, this is how our brain works. We would take a word like film and flip the I and the L, or take a word like photo and spell it with an F. We couldn't tell you why the word super only has 1 P in it, or really which goes where. A lot of the time, these challenges can add up and make simple life tasks very difficult. So I went to find help, and that's when I met Rachel. Rachel is a teacher that teaches dyslexic students the English language in a way that they can comprehend. She took time out of her schedule to come do an interview with us.
Okay, my name is Rachel Herman. I'm a licensed educational therapist and I work with students who have learning disabilities. I've actually spent my whole life in education, over 20 years in education. For many years I taught college level humanities courses, and I also homeschooled my 3 boys, and that's really where my career took a turn. I have a son who has dyslexia and went undiagnosed for years in the public school system. We tried a lot of different things that didn't work for him until we really discovered that dyslexia was his challenge, because he was always very bright and yet he continued to struggle in school, particularly in reading and writing tasks.
You hear that story of her son? That's the same story as me and everyone else I know.
One of the things that's really difficult about the way that special education is set up in the public school system is that frequently, in order for a student to qualify for assistance in special education, they have to show a pattern of failure over a long time. So that can be difficult for our students. Oftentimes, parents and teachers as well will see warning signs that a student is struggling, but unless a student is demonstrating a certain level of need or a certain level of consistent failure, then oftentimes that student will get missed by the special education testing and will not be identified early on. So we really do want to have universal screenings for students, particularly in kindergarten and first grade, and that's one thing that the International Dyslexia Association, of which I am a member, is fighting for in schools in California. We want to see that screening happen because we can often identify students before they get to a level of failure with their language processing, with their reading and writing. But for many of our students, that's not the case, and particularly for our average to high intelligence students in the public school system, they often develop very good coping skills because these kids are bright, and so they will frequently not be identified until 3rd or 4th grade, when the avalanche of new vocabulary sort of engulfs them with regards to language processing, and they can't keep up anymore using coping skills like whole word visual memory or skills that might involve trying to understand the word, figure out the word from context, or looking at the pictures. So that doesn't work once you are in chapter books and you no longer have those external cues.
What Rachel just said was very important. As a dyslexic student, we don't learn how to spell in traditional ways. For us, every letter in the word needs to be memorized in the correct order because we've never been able to use spelling rules. That's why I always get the first 3 letters in because correct, but scramble the rest in any way I want. It's about the same when we are reading. A dyslexic student will look at the first few letters and the last few letters and determine what the word is. Life being dyslexic is only hard if you make it hard. We all try to find advantages in our disability, or just not let it hold us back at all.